My name is Lauren Dile, and I am a kindergarten teacher. When I was announced as District Teacher of the Year and my knees buckled beneath me, I had two instantaneous thoughts in my mind. Number one, to God be the glory forever and ever, amen. Number two, heck, on a stick, I have to speak at convocation. In the days that followed, it began to sink in that I was, in fact, going to be speaking in front of 3,000 people. But then I realized I am a public speaker, a professional public speaker for 5-year-olds. If you've never been in a kindergarten class before, you'll have to trust me when I tell you it's hard to embarrass yourself in a kindergarten class. I'll never forget the first day of school a few years ago. I asked the one question that every single kindergarten teacher knows you can never ask. Does anybody have any questions? A hand shoots up. He stands straight up and turns to face the class. Mrs. Dile in class, when I was a baby, my mom pooped me out her butt and I was born. Number one, thanks for sharing, friend. Number two, kudos to his pre-K teacher for those public speaking skills. Immediately, the student was met with, me too, that's how I was born too. Affirmation, connection, belonging. It's hard to embarrass yourself in a kindergarten class. It's far easier, however, to embarrass yourself in a room full of adults. What do you say to a room full of educators in the state of education today? The cultural waters of education today are tumultuous, to say the least. The outside voices loom large and loud. Everywhere we turn, there's a new article or news story or social media post telling us about education that can leave us feeling hopeless, powerless, and defeated. It's interesting how the voices farthest from us, the voices most out of touch with who we are and what we do, are often the voices that leave us feeling the most hopeless. So, what if there were a way to turn down the volume of those outside voices? You see, if the voices farthest from us leave us feeling hopeless, maybe the voices closest to us can leave us feeling hopeful. So how do we turn down the volume of those outside voices? We build up our school families. We get to know the people that we do this beautiful and painstaking work day in and day out with. Edmond Public Schools, it's time to know our people. This summer, I had the opportunity to sit down with incredible educators from across our district and really get to know them and what it's like to serve in their unique job role. What do you wish that people knew about your job as a teacher?
As a middle school teacher, what I was not prepared for were the mental health issues. I don't want to be here, nobody will love me, nobody will miss me. Working 15 years in elementary, that I was not prepared for, and those conversations, because they really open up to teachers that they trust. Those conversations were hard, but I had to have them and let them know, if you think nobody else loves you, I love you, and I'm going to see you here every day.
What do you wish people knew about your job as a CA?
I wish people knew that our job is not for the faint of heart. It's very physical and mental. It takes a lot of strength, and we're there to make our kids successful. I'm very dedicated to the kids, and when they're sad or they're not happy, it makes me feel that same way. Taking their needs, their wants, their burdens themselves on us is huge.
Yeah. What do you wish people knew about your role as an administrator?
And I know it's really hard to talk about this and see it, but it's the heart and dedication that administrators provide for their educators. There's a lot of heart and soul There are a lot of hours. I've seen my principals, every single one of them, behind the scenes, and the energy that they put and invest in things even such as planning professional development to, class placement, to the strategic planning that goes on, whether it's the PLCs that they do.
Yeah, absolutely. Administrators wear a lot of different hats.
Yes.
Like you're saying, they're running PLCs, they're building up educators, they're worried about the school as a whole and how every little piece fits together.
Yes.
And it's a lot.
Yes.
We really do try to have a lot of fun as a principal, and as the kids are in your classroom, I feel like the teachers are in my classroom, and so I try to, everything you try to do for your kids, I try to do that for my kids, which include teachers. I try to listen to them, and sometimes it's do you want me to listen and try to come up with the solution, or just want me just to listen and just be available?
Yeah.
And sometimes, it's a hard job for them, and so just being there, getting them the things that they need, or trying to find the resources the best we can, putting things together, or finding people that can help us when I'm not the one that can do it all, but I can help you find. I might know somebody, or I can maybe ask a business,
Yes.
or so.
Having those connections
Yes,
for them,
trying to
building
forge
those
those
connections.
connections,
Yeah.
I think first and foremost, just being a leader, there's a lot of listening that goes on in my role. There's still kids that have needs and need someone to listen to them, and so sometimes I feel like I'm playing counselor.
Yeah.
Working with maintenance if there's an issue with the air conditioner, to calling parents, to observing and evaluating teachers to help them improve.
Right.
The main thing that I always keep at the forefront of my mind that I never try to lose sight of is this is all about the kids.
Do you feel like you get all your work done during work hours? How much of this are you doing on your own time?
I definitely don't get it done during work hours. What I always like to live by, if it's something that can be done at my computer, I can do it in the evening. Because when people are in my building, when people are at Boulevard Academy, teachers, guests, and students, I want to be present and visible and in the moment with them.
That's your focus, yeah.
Always.
Everyone in education has a crucial job role. If we lose even a single job role, the wheels fall off. No bus drivers, no kids at school. No nutrition staff, hungry kids at school. No secretaries, well, we'd all have to quit and go home because nothing runs without those ladies. Everyone in education also has a really hard job. Sometimes we forget that. We get so caught up in our own trenches that we forget that other job roles are battling through their own trenches. Their hard looks different than our hard, but it's hard nonetheless. You'll hear from the office, they just don't know what it's like up here. You'll hear from the teachers, well, they sure don't know what it's like down here. They're both right. Each unique job role comes with its own unique stressors and worries and burdens that you couldn't possibly know about unless you asked. That's why it's time that we know our people. When we have real, vulnerable conversations with each other about what's hard, we're able to empathize and assume positive intent when things go wrong. If my admin is running late for my post-conference, I have two options. If I don't know her trenches, I'm quick to judgment. Wow, does she not care about my time at all? Or if I do know her trenches, I can assume positive intent. I wonder where she is. I know she has to work with a lot of students in crisis. She's probably helping a student right now. I'll just text her and we'll reschedule. Really knowing our people and what they do day in and day out has the power to dramatically shift our school cultures. Knowing our people makes them feel valued. This summer, I sat down with some educators and I asked them, what makes them feel truly valued at work? What would make you feel appreciated and valued maybe by other people in different job roles within your school building?
It's the words. Words go a long way with me, and just hey, you're doing a great job. I see you. You know, I've worked with numerous teachers in their classroom, and when they trust me enough to be able to step out of the room for a situation and leave me in the room with their class or their kids. That makes me feel appreciated, that, oh, I can do this, I'm valued.
Yeah, they trust you enough to give you that extra responsibility.
Right, definitely.
I love my position in that I have teachers come to me all throughout the day for a ton of stuff. Sensory, reading problems, manipulatives, noise canceling headphones. It could be like the weirdest thing ever, and I'll be like, well, try this, and they may not even be my kiddo, and that's the thing that I love too, is I don't even know them, I don't know their name, and I don't have to, but they'll come to me and say, I have this kiddo and they're having this issue, what do you think we can do? And we just try till something works, and so I love being that resource for them throughout the day.
Yes, so I'm hearing you say that not only like feedback of you did this, I noticed this and this helped in this way, but also just when people reach out to you and ask for your expertise as a professional, that just fills your bucket.
Yes, it's so much fun.
What things make you feel valued?
Just a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Like, you're doing what I want you to do.
Yeah.
Keep doing it. That's all we need. I don't need an iced tea from Sonic. I just need a tap on the window, say keep it up.
Yeah.
Carrie Higdon does that all the time for me, and I love it. So yeah, just recognize that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, those little tiny affirmations go a long way.
Yep.
Here's a silly example, but like we get a Chick-fil-A lunch, right? I am never going to turn down some chicken nuggets. So the chicken nuggets can help with survival. They help you in that moment. But nobody stays at a job because they got Chick-fil-A twice a year, right?
Not long term.
That's not a long-term appreciation. At the end of the day, teachers want to be appreciated for what they're doing every day.
Yeah.
I remember this last year. I was just walking down the hall. It was the end of a day. It was just a normal day. And I get emotional talking about this, oh my gosh, because it just meant so much to me. I remember our school counselor looked at me and she said, you were born to do this. It wasn't the end of an evaluation. It wasn't because I was in this moment of, survival. She just saw me as a person, and she wanted to tell me that. Again, it goes back to I was seen, I felt valued. Out of nowhere, she felt the need to tell me that what I was doing was important.
Everyone feels affirmed in different ways. In education, we often like to make appreciation one size fits all, but it's not. Everyone has their own unique way that they hope to be affirmed. For some, it's words of affirmation. For others, it's having their expertise sought after. For TJ Dortch, it's a silent thumbs up. For many, it's having a seat at the table when decisions are being made. The only way to know how to affirm the people around you in a way that makes them feel valued is to ask and know your people. Imagine what would happen to the teacher shortage if we did this. Recruitment and retention are the byproducts of knowing the people we already have, valuing the people we already have, and making EPS a place where everyone wants to be because they know in Edmond Public Schools, we know our people. How can we have hope in the world of education today? By knowing our people through authentic and vulnerable conversations. Hope is not toxic positivity. It's not burying our heads in the sand and pretending everything's okay when it's not. No. Hope is living in light of what is and realizing that there's a will and a way forward despite the outside circumstances. Edmond Public Schools, that way forward is knowing our people. Thank you.